So this is our mess here of random figs that we've collected over the year. Not much for too long. This is in zone 5B. This is Sabai. This was actually going to be originally planned for grafting, but it ended up fruiting. So I said, you know what, we're going to let it be. Let's see what happens. You can see there's a bunch of fruit over there, over there. There's a few over here as well. I haven't fully bagged them all yet. Next up we have is the cream of Frigola. We're going to try to fruit it and see what happens. From what I recall, this was actually going to be another grafting thing, but didn't happen. Then we do have the Nakam Haven, but you can see the pot has been overtaken by purslane. But purslane luckily doesn't actually have too much deep roots, so it's not going to really interfere, and they're going to get along fine for now. And then we have the, what is this? This one is the Celeste, and same thing going on over here. No figs yet, but it's too early. This one actually is Atriano. You're gonna laugh at the container of it, but hey, I ran out of pots, and I said, you know what, it could thrive in this for now. We'll worry about it when the time comes. We'll pot it into something bigger, better one. This one is the white Madeira. So not much happening here either, but it's finally starting to take off. It actually sat still for almost about 2.5 months. It did nothing, but it just sat there. But now it's starting to grow. And then this one, I don't know what this one is. This one is something. I think this actually might be the Spatafora Dark. Same thing with this, taken over by purslane, but it is what it is. It's another freebie that's been given, so we're going to take it and enjoy it because purslane is a very healthy thing to eat, obviously in moderation, but I didn't plan for it, but here it is. And then up here we do have the CDD Gree. This one actually is doing nicely as well. It actually was one of the late bloomers. It rooted, for a long time it didn't root, and then it rooted, and it finally erupted. And this is all from like a 6 to 7 inch stick in one season. So it's doing very good. Next one is the CDD Ramada. This one's doing also very well, but there you go. There's a bunch of figs there, but I don't think it's going to make it this season, so it's most likely going to be for next year. We're going to let it be, see whatever happens, happens. I don't want to break it off yet. And then we have the, what is it called? Brooklyn Dark. Same thing, sat around for a while and then took off. This is the HDA, and this one actually is nicely going along as well. Nuestra Senora del Carmen, NSDC. Same thing with this one also. This actually got mauled by my cat multiple times, but it finally decided that enough's enough, it's going to go through anyway, and actually made it through, so I'm kind of surprised about that. Next we do have here is the Figoin. This one actually is coming up nicely, put on some decent amount of growth. And then we do have the mystery one over here. This one I don't know what it is. No fruits yet. We're going to let it be and see what happens. This one's the Violet Sapor. Got one figlet on it and a few things going on here with the purslane again. Purslane has invaded my yard pretty much. And then we do have the Angelito up here. The Angelito actually was stalled out for a good 2.5 months. It just sat there, did nothing, and would grow maybe an inch like every 3 weeks or something, if that. Decided to tweak the fertilization, and now it's alive and well and thriving. It actually took off considerably, so I'm happy about that. Next up is the Chicago Hardy. This actually grew one this way, one that way. It's nicely loaded with fruit. I haven't fully bagged them all yet. It's work in progress. This is another Sibai. Same thing with this one. Originally meant for grafting, but it decided to put out fruit, so we said, okay, we're gonna let it be for now, for this year. And then next we have is the Constantine Algier. This one actually is coming along nicely. No fruits this season. This one on the back end, though, is a whole different story. This is the Palestinian Dark, or the Dark Palestinian. Last count, it had about 68 figs on it. Second year tree. Very nicely loaded, and I'm hoping that they may actually start ripening soon. Although, I don't know how soon is soon. And looks like we may have some magnesium deficiency going on as well, so I'm going to actually try to add that in the next go round of fertilization. And then we have here is the brown turkey. The brown turkey is like a monster, pretty much spread out all over every direction. It's like a wild beast that needs to be trimmed down and fixed up. There's one giant fig growing at all the way at the bottom down there, you can see, but nothing ready for yet. And then we have the mission. The mission is doing the same thing. Not much happening over here. There's a whole bunch of fruits inside buried. I'm not gonna necessarily go in there bother it right now. And then this one is the I-258, Italian 258. And we got figs over here, figs over there, all over the place. We got another I-258 over here. It's kind of at an angle. It grew crooked. We're gonna have to fix that up come later on once it goes dormant. Try to straighten it out. And here is the yellow long neck. This one also decided to grow stupidly at an angle, and I kind of just let it be, neglected it until it's too late, and now it's just a crooked tree. But one thing of interest that I wanted to point out was that if you look around on the ground, random spots all over the place, there's this brown stuff all over the place, and that actually is coffee. We get raided by squirrels all over the place, and one of the things I tested out was try to actually get organza bags, soak them in coffee, and then let them sun dry and then put them on, so there's actually some coffee residue on it, coffee smell on it. And advantage of this I have noticed so far, the birds have stopped visiting the trees, and so have the animals, the creatures of the night, squirrels, skunks, possums. Nobody seems to bother them. So I've been kind of not retroactively, but proactively sprinkling coffee grounds that I use every day around and around, and that seems to be actually doing the trick for them. So we'll see what happens. But that's it for now for Chicago Zone 5B. That's it.